Alright, what's going on, guys? gdoggcasey here with another Final Fantasy XIV video for you. Today we're going through Pharos Sirius with the White Mage. And I'm really looking forward to this one. Those of you guys who watched the tanking episode might know that this is one of my favorite dungeons in A Realm Reborn, and I am very happy to be coming through with it. And I feel like I say that a lot. At least recently I've been saying it a lot, because we've just been going through a lot of the really cool dungeons, you know? And I felt like I had a reason to say it. This is, however, going to be our first time going through a healing, or going through a dungeon as the healer in A Realm Reborn, or no, sorry, in Stormblood. And that being said, it means that things are going to be quite a bit different. And the changes aren't that drastic, but I will say that they are different enough to at least make a comment about. The biggest change, and I mentioned it in some previous videos, but the biggest change in my opinion is the fact that you do no longer need cleric stance in order to switch between doing damage and doing healing. Instead, your damage and your healing scales off of mind as a healer. So, due to that, we no longer need to use cleric stance to boost up our damage, or to swap our intellect and our mind around so that we can do more damage, which I think is really cool. Although I'm still kind of getting used to it, because it does feel like I'm cheating a little bit to be able to do damage without actually having to switch into cleric stance. It feels a little cheap. That said, though, I think it feels a little bit more normal once you get used to it, and for those of you new healers coming in, you're probably going to like it this way a lot more than the way it was before. Some other changes they have made is they have consolidated a lot of the skills into one hotbar slot. So, for example, Stone 2 is always going to be Stone 2 at level 50. You don't have the ability to use Stone 2 as well as Stone 1, or Arrow 2 as well as Arrow 1, or anything like that. It's basically just whatever stone or whatever arrow is at its highest is the one that you're going to be using. Now, they still make you use Cure 1, Cure 2, Cure 3, all of that stuff. They are all on separate hotbar slots because they do different things, similar to how Stone and Arrow and them did different things as well. Like, for example, Arrow 1 was instant cast, but Arrow 2 had a cast time. They've basically, I think, just made them all instant cast now and just buff the damage a bit. They have changed some of the numbers around, so, you know, in terms of the potency for certain spells, they are a little bit different, I would imagine, but I don't know all of the, you know, the math behind it. I'm basically just playing the healer as I played it before. Cure 1 is still used for when, you know, you just have minor healing top-ups to do. Cure 2 when you need a bigger burst heal, but, you know, you need to use more mana in order to do that. And Cure 3 I still almost never use. I don't think Cure 3 is even available at my level right now, is it? Cure 3. Oh, it is. All party members nearby target. So, it's like an AoE heal. I'm sure there are reasons, or there are situations where I should be using it, but I have not been using it. So, you guys can let me know in the comments on when I should be using Cure 3, or if there are certain situations that come up that call for the use of Cure 3. I have not found them yet. So we're just going to be DPSing the boss here until otherwise needed. Dodge these AoEs. So for this boss fight, I don't remember much about it. I thought those AoEs grew in size. And maybe they do. There we go. Is that growing? I think it's growing. Yeah, so you just want to kind of stay on the outside. The tank should be getting as much of these warhounds on him as humanly possible. And things do get a little tough here because you're forced into this corner, and these hounds all have different AoE, quick AoE abilities. Alright, this person needs our big heal here. Give that to him. I need a heal. And I'm going to use... oh shit, sprint out of that. Yeah, this fight can get a little hectic here. Oh my god. Yeah, see, those AoE spells by the wolves are incredibly quick and hard to respond to. Basically impossible to respond to. I'm going to put some heals on myself before I die here. And now onto the tank before he dies. Oh my god, our samurai's going to die. But the tank is more important. I haven't used any regen here, which is a bit of a mistake. Oh, come me get out. No, we're gonna get hit by that. I should pop some regen on some of these guys. Oh god, I'm gonna get hit by both of those. Okay, we made it. A bit hectic. I think it's hard to tell. I think the tank needs to do a better job of grabbing all of those wolves and making sure they're all on him. We all got hit with a bunch of debuffs and stuff like that as well. So I wonder if I can take Suna those off. No, I can't. I'm just gonna have to wait. But nobody died. Now in these areas you gotta be careful because there's a lot of AoE blasts that go on around these crystals. So you'll just want to make sure that you are aware of that. At least I thought that was the case. Yeah, there they are. So you can't really fight in there. If you want to do big pulls, you're better off running into this room over here. And there we go. And yeah, we no longer need Cleric Stance. Now I should show you guys, now this tank is doing big pulls, so I don't have a lot of time to show you guys the different roll abilities, but I will try for a second. Get rid of these paralysis. It's not as important to take them off the DPS, but should definitely be taking them off the tank and the healer. I'm trying to get it off of this guy. There we go, finally got it off. So I'll show you guys the roll skills for the healers and the ones that I've chosen. Now, Cleric Stance is now a roll skill, and the way it works is that instead of popping it to switch into like damage mode, instead you use it and it just boosts your damage by 5% for 15 seconds. So if you know you're going to have a good solid 15 seconds of non-healing required time, then you can pop Cleric Stance and do some damage with it, which I think is pretty good. But some of these other spells are even better. Protect is now a roll skill, so if you want to play Scholar or if you want to play Astrologian, you no longer need to level up your... I mean, I think it was, what, like level 8 or something that you got it before? Oh god, this guy's going ham. Put the... Sorry guys, just trying to keep this guy alive here. We're going to be using Cure 2 to keep him up. He did pop his Convalescence, so that helps. And Nova Prime likes to stand in AoEs or something. I'm going to pop Medica 2 to give a AoE heal as well as heal over time. I'll give each of these guys a quick heal over time as well, and then switch to just main healing Damien. Damien the Paladin. There we go. I got hit by an AoE there. There we go. It's nothing too hard though. But yeah, so a lot of these skills, like Protect is kind of a silly one because we're talking like level 8. But a big one is going to be Swift Cast, which if you wanted to only play a healer, Swift Cast is an essential skill for a healer. I probably went over this in future videos, I just don't remember. But it is an essential skill because you need it to be able to pop a quick res in the middle of a battle. And you can use it for other things as well, but that's kind of the main use of it. Before, you would have to actually level up your Thaumaturge all the way up to level 26 just to be able to use Swift Cast. And, you know, it's like, what if you just have absolutely no interest in playing a Thaumaturge? I think Thaumaturges are very fun, so I'm not necessarily saying that. I was never really against the cross-class system before, because I kind of thought it was neat that you would have to level up other classes in order to learn their specific abilities and cross them over with your main class. I actually kind of like that, but I can't deny that there are going to be a ton of people out there who actually despise that kind of thing. I'm going to close this just for this fight. For this fight, we don't want to be killing the eggs or the babies that pop from those eggs. I should also be Asunaing this Windburn. Oh, I thought I could, but I guess not. Either that or Asuna is just not necessarily working as it should, but... This boss is fairly simple, but he gets like a rage buff or something every time you kill one of his babies. So you don't want to do that. You basically just want to focus the boss down, leave the babies alone, and just survive. And it's fine. Can I assume that? I don't think I can. No, it won't let me. So things will get a little crazy with some AoE. But if we look at the boss here... Oh, people are killing babies. I can't remember if you're supposed to kill them at this point in time or not. Despite how much I enjoy this dungeon, there's quite a lot of it that I actually don't really know. So, I'm just trying to keep everyone alive. I'm getting vomited on. I don't know if I should pull away from this to lower the damage. I can't tell, but it's hurting me quite a bit. But we'll be alright. The boss is already almost dead, nobody's really close to dying. We can survive this. And there we go. We survived. Easy peasy. He'll survive as well. We don't necessarily need any of the loot from here. We got our ironworks set on, which is more than good enough for this area. The music in this dungeon is beautiful, just in case you hadn't realized that yet. And just the overall aesthetic, I really like it. Like at the beginning when you're in the sewers and the water's all sparkly and everything, the music kicks in. It's a nice dungeon. It's well put together. This area we got to be a little careful because we got these gas things that are coming out of this aether valve. So you can close it to stop them from spawning on the bottom, but they're still going to spawn on the top. And standing in them is going to cause you to take damage, and you just don't want to fight inside these gas puddles. But it's basically pretty self-explanatory by now. The dungeon has already shown you other areas that you shouldn't be standing in while fighting, so it's mostly just kind of continuing that aspect of things. And then you can fight right here. You can close that aether valve as well, which one of the DPS is doing, which is great. And we're going to want to not stand in it. I guess fighting right there might not be the best idea. There we go. It's gone away. Oh, shit. We lost our bard incredibly quickly. So we'll use quick cast into res, and he should come back. There he is. He or she, I can't remember. And we're taking some hits here, so we're going to use one of our roll abilities here called Lucid Dreaming, which is basically Shroud of Saints, just with a name change, and I guess some of the numbers might be different. We lost our DPS again. I should have... Oh, shit. Alright, we're good, we're good. I'm trying not to use this one, Benediction, because I'm going to use it on the tank right now. Quick cast is still 20 seconds away. We'll pop this AoE heal, which will give some more healing over time. I think we're good. I could attempt to raise this person. Yeah, we'll be fine. See, that might have been more my fault because I raised the bard, and the bard still had very little health. So they just kind of got raised into a poor situation. Where normally you'll want to use your benediction on the person you just raised, but the thing is that's mostly if they're actually a tank. Like if your tank dies, you use quick cast, you use raise, and then you use benediction on them so that you can bring them up to full health right away. Now this boss, I'm not sure off the top of my head if there was any crazy mechanics that we had to worry about. I don't think so. It's already almost dead. Well, it's almost halfway dead, but you know what I mean. But let's pull this up here and do our best to sort of talk about it as best as we can. We're just DPSing this boss. Once this boss dies, nothing else matters. So there we go. Big damage there. No worries on this boss. But the roll skills, if you can take a look at them there. Isuna is on there, so that's you definitely need that. Protect, I think, is basically mandatory. Lucid Dreaming is an incredible... it's Shroud of Saints, basically. It helps you drop threat by half, so if you're getting attacked, you can pop Lucid Dreaming to hopefully, you know, send the enemy back towards the tank. And it helps refresh your mana as well, which is a big thing that I was always kind of confused about as we watched this cutscene. It says it applies refresh, which the first time I heard that, or first time I read it, I just kind of assumed it was some sort of like heal over time, but it's not a heal over time. It's actually a mana regen over time. So, you know, during fights that require a lot of mana use, like usually boss fights, you'll want to be popping that. Eye for an Eye allows us to put a barrier around our tank, which I'll do right here at the beginning. And sometimes that can add a little bit of extra damage to the boss or to whatever enemies are attacking it. And Largest is basically Divine Seal. Surecast is something I've never used, and Rescue is something that I don't really use a lot either. You can read the tooltip on that. I don't know much about it, but now I want to focus on dealing damage here to the boss. So the boss is going to summon these adds, and the tank should be picking them up as quickly as possible, because some of them are going to be crawling on the ground, like this one, and it's going to stun the target that it grabs. So this one's actually coming for me, but we killed it before it got to me. If it gets to you, it actually stuns you and holds you in place, which can cause a lot of shit later on, because there's going to be more of them. So here we go. These ones that are crawling are the ones that absolutely have to die ASAP. Siren Song does something. Invading your mind. Must be at maximum HP to avoid become charmed. Oh shit, okay, well let's I did not even realize that. So that's a pretty big healer thing you gotta worry about. So you basically just have to bring people up, and I totally did not do very good at that this time. You need people to be up to full health in order to dispel that. So I didn't even know that, and now I do. That's pretty cool. Yeah, see, I wish the tank would grab this guy off me. There we go. Make my life a little bit easier, make his life a little bit easier. There we go. I forgot to focus target this boss. So is that another Siren Song? Yes, it is. So we're going to focus target the boss. We're going to come here, and we're going to just use Medica to bring everybody up to full health. And there we go. Siren Song should be off of all of them. We can come back to start doing some damage. It's about limit break time. Or we can just kill the boss. We do have a samurai in the group as well as a bard, so the DPS is going to be quite high. And as you see here, there we go. So that's going to do it for Pharos Sirius. I did kind of a lot of talking about the Stormblood abilities for the White Mage. I think it's prudent to talk about that. If you guys have any questions about it, let me know in the comments down below. I'm not really an expert, but I do have the character here, so if you have some questions, I could definitely check it out and see if I can answer for you. And that's going to do it. Pharos Sirius, done and dusted. Let's see if we got any commendations. We got 2 commendations. See, this team, they know all about respect. But that's going to do it, guys. I'm actually going to jump right from this video to recording the trial video. I apologize that this one came out late. I was feeling under the weather yesterday and not really able to play the game very much, so I apologize for that. But you'll get a double whammy today. So that's going to do it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.